good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. So today I'm going to be making scones. I start off with 500 grams of self-raising flour. You can use normal flour, but we would need more baking powder if you do plan to use normal flour instead of self-raising flour. Then you cut your butter in cubes and throw it in. 70 grams of butter. Can be room temperature or refrigerated temperature. You just throw that in nice and small so that when you crush it with your hands it's easy. Then you go ahead and throw 5 to 6 tablespoons of caster sugar if you want a more sweeter scone recipe, and then you just add like 1 to 2 extra tablespoons of caster sugar, I hope everyone's doing good, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Then you throw in half a teaspoon of salt, since it is a scone recipe. Keep in mind that you can make a sweet or savory scone recipe. Then you throw in 2 heaped teaspoons of baking powder. And if you're using normal flour, then you're gonna have to throw in about 5 to 6 teaspoons of baking powder. And make sure your hands is nice and clean, and then you can first mix it all in together, just so that all the ingredients is mixed in, like the salt, baking powder, and then you start crushing the butter into the flour nicely. There's 2 ways to do this. You can decide to do it like I'm doing it now with your fingers, or you can put the flour between your hands and kind of mix it together, but with your hands, if it makes sense. And keep in mind that this is my auntie's recipe, and my auntie is Fatima Saida Cooks, and in her recipe she uses a fork, and she didn't tell me I must use a fork because it is easier. So I had to just get up all in there, which is no problem, because that's what I do best in the kitchen. So I'm just making sure that all the butter is infused with the flour. You want to make sure you get every speck, and make sure that it's a sand consistency, so that all the butter is nicely infused with the flour, and then when it bakes it will basically melt evenly and there won't be no holes. And make sure you get a nice lovely wide bowl so that you can work easily, to make it easier for yourself and fun for yourself, because cooking is about having fun. So as you can see here, I basically have a nice sand consistency. All the butter is basically into tiny pieces infused with the flour. Then here you want to get another bowl for the wet ingredients. Now in my auntie's recipe, she mixes the wet ingredients one time with the dry ingredients. She doesn't measure it separately and mix it separately. But it's the same recipe, but it's like a little spin on it. But you can follow anyone you would love to. It's both extremely easy. Even this one took me 10 minutes. Then you want to get 2 large eggs and whisk it in a nice bowl. Here I realized I should have washed my hands because I forgot I'm doing a video. But don't worry, I'm gonna use my hands again to mix it. and you just whisk your eggs nicely. Then you take a full cup of buttermilk, and you can use buttermilk or you can use cream. In my auntie's recipe she uses cream, in this recipe it's buttermilk. I guess it's the same thing, but yeah, my mom actually taught me that you can make buttermilk with milk and lemon juice. Yeah. Yes, then you just mix it nicely into the eggs. Then you throw just a small splash of vanilla essence. This you don't need to throw in. You don't need to throw it in. But if you want to and you want that lovely vanilla flavor, you can throw it in. Then I got my lovely assistant, to throw in a handful of cheese. And I'm doing this because I am making a savory scone. But then again, even if you do this, you can put jam on at the end, it still tastes nice. Then you just make sure you mix the grated cheese into there. Then you throw in your wet mixture to your dry mixture. And this wet mixture does get quite thick, so make sure you mix it before you throw it in. And yeah, I'm just mixing it up. Yeah, my auntie was telling me don't mix it like that, you need to mix it like it's a scone, not like a roll, or like, you know what I mean. Anyways, so I was mixing it not that good here, and you shall see. And here my auntie Fatima's other cooks come in and she showed me the proper way. I think this might have been my first or second time, if I'm not mistaken, time making scones. But yeah, here she's just, the professional is coming in to show me how it's done. What she wanted me to do was basically fold it in. Kind of like when you make like, you know, when you make meringue with egg whites or something, then you basically fold it in, you don't mix it. So this is the same method. So here she's just folded it in and she's poured in a little more flour in because you want a nice dry dough, not a wet one. And then you just basically fold it in until it feels like a dry dough but also not too wet. Now you can throw some flour on your area you're gonna be cutting the scones out so it doesn't stick. And here you can use a rolling pin to make it easy for yourself, or if you don't want to wash up, you don't need to use a rolling pin. You don't want to wash up like a lot of dishes like we did here. We just like made it nice and flat because it has to be thick also. Say like an inch or half inch thick. Just tap it softly. You'll see now, I'll zoom in. Whoa. And then you'll see how the dough is placed. See there? Nice and lovely and thick, but not too thick. Then you can go ahead get your cookie cutters. I got just like a medium one. You can make big scones, tiny scones, hard scones, square scones. Yeah, I'm getting medium scones. And you just want to make sure you have flour on the side and you dip it in before you make the actual circles, otherwise it will stick together because inside this dough is quite sticky. Then you want to get a nice flat baking tray, and yeah, my auntie was also getting annoyed because it was dirty and I was just gonna put that in just so, but I love it. I love you, Auntie Fatima, don't worry. And then you want to take baking paper and put it down so that you don't have to like wash up anything later. I'm sure you can use like oil or butter or something, but yeah, this is what we used. And here I took over. I'm gonna make my own little circle scones. And at this time, clips are changing the entire time because my mother kept phoning me. Yeah, my mother loves me very much and she phones me all day long, and she didn't know that I was busy making scones. So yeah, she kept phoning me, so I do apologize if the clips look different. You'll see my auntie takes over any second.
This is gonna come up.
There she takes over. And there it's almost done again. So yeah, as you can see, you basically get basically over 10 scones, which is lovely. And if you want to make more than that, you can always double the recipe. If you want to make half of it, you can always half everything that we threw in. Lovely. And now we're using that last part so that we don't take it to waste or anything. Yeah, me and my auntie is making this lovely scones. We love to cook together. I don't cook a lot with her because she does live quite far, but when I do cook with her, it's the best. And yeah, I'm just cleaning my station. Always keep your station clean, guys. And then you want to get one small egg. It doesn't have to be a large one because you're just going to be whisking it up and brushing the top of the scones. So yeah, I'm getting the eggs ready, and then we realized that the lighting wasn't the best here, so we swapped it to a different place. And there the lighting is way better. I don't know why I didn't make it stuff there. Then you want to lightly brush the scones with your whisk egg with a lovely silicone brush or normal brush, and you make sure not to touch the sides.
And you bake for exactly 15 to 18 minutes on.
Lovely. Now we put this in our oven, and I forgot to tell you, before you start with any of this, always make sure that your oven is preheated, and this recipe calls for it to be on 220 degrees Celsius. There's me, I'm excited, peace, and there the lovely scones are done. It looks gorgeous. Okay, thank you everyone, salam.